What's up, everyone? Before we get into today's insane video, I gotta show you this awesome Brightside merch. Seriously, look at this hoodie. It's super comfortable. If you want to grab one for yourself, the link is right down in the description. Go check it out after the video. Now let me ask you something crazy. How would you survive a bear or a shark attack? Like, for real, what would you do if a snake bit you right now? Most people have no idea, and that's literally the difference between life and death. Today, we're changing that. We've gathered 13 easy tips that will literally save your life if you ever meet a wild animal. I'm not even kidding, this information is priceless. You might think it'll never happen to you, but what if it does? You're going to want to know this stuff. So, I want you to watch this whole video, maybe even take some notes, because what you're about to learn is more valuable than any amount of money. And hey, since we're basically giving you superpowers to survive in the wild, do me a huge favor and obliterate that thumbs up button. It shows us you care about your well-being, and it helps the channel out a ton. Alright, are you ready to become a survival expert? Let's get into the first challenge. Okay, first up, the one everyone is terrified of, sharks. Imagine you're in the ocean, minding your own business, and suddenly you see that infamous fin. Most people would panic and start splashing around like crazy. That is the absolute worst thing you can do. Splashing makes you look like a wounded seal, which is basically a dinner bell for a shark. So, rule number 1, stay as calm as you can and don't make sudden, erratic movements. You need to show the shark you're not prey. Your goal is to move away slowly and deliberately. Don't turn your back on it, ever. You need to keep your eyes on the shark at all times. They are ambush predators, so if they know you see them, it can sometimes deter an attack. If it starts swimming towards you, you need to get big. Make yourself look as large and intimidating as possible. It sounds crazy, but you're trying to signal that you are not an easy meal. This isn't a movie where you can just outswim it. You can't. So your strategy is all about defense and de-escalation. But what if it actually attacks? This is where it gets intense. You have to fight back. Don't play dead. You hit it, you punch it, you use anything you have as a weapon. Aim for the most sensitive areas, the eyes and the gills. A hard strike to the eyes or gills can be enough to make the shark realize you're not worth the trouble and swim away. It's a high-stakes fight for your life, and you have to be aggressive. Don't give up. Don't stop fighting until you are clear of the danger. Once you've fought it off, or if it moves away, get out of the water as quickly and calmly as possible. Even a small bite can cause significant bleeding, so the moment you are on the shore or a boat, you need to apply pressure to the wound and get medical attention immediately. Surviving the initial encounter is only half the battle. The other half is surviving the aftermath. So remember, don't panic, face it, fight back hard, and get help fast. Alright, next up we're heading to Australia for an animal you probably think is cute and cuddly, the kangaroo. But let me tell you, a large male kangaroo can be incredibly dangerous. They have powerful legs with massive claws that can do serious damage. If you see one from a distance, the best thing to do is just give it a ton of space. Don't approach it, don't try to feed it, just admire it from afar and slowly walk away. Most confrontations happen because a human got too close. But what if you accidentally surprise one and it becomes aggressive? Kangaroos have a tell. They'll often puff out their chest and start making these low growling or coughing sounds. This is a clear warning sign. If you see this, do not turn and run. Running can trigger their predatory chase instinct, and you will not outrun a kangaroo. They are incredibly fast. Instead, you need to do something that sounds really weird, but it works. You give a short, deep cough. This is a sign of non-aggression in kangaroo language. It's like you're telling them, hey, I'm not a threat, I'm just a weak, sick animal, please don't hurt me. After you cough, you should slowly back away. Don't make direct eye contact, as this can be seen as a challenge. Keep your body turned slightly to the side, and just slowly, carefully, increase the distance between you and the roo. The goal is to show you are submissive and not a challenger for its territory. If the kangaroo still attacks, your last resort is to drop to the ground and curl into a ball. Protect your head and neck with your arms. This is called turtling. The kangaroo will likely kick and scratch you a few times, but it will eventually lose interest and move on because you're no longer a standing threat. It's going to hurt, there's no doubt about it, but it's much better than taking a full-force kick to your chest or face. So cough, back away slowly, and if all else fails, turtle up. Okay, the stakes are getting even higher. You're on a safari and you come face to face with the king of the jungle, a lion. The absolute #1 rule, and you're going to see a pattern here, is do not run. Running is what prey does. If you run, you trigger the lion's chase instinct, and it's a race you will lose 100% of the time. Every single time. Your only chance is to stand your ground. It's terrifying, but it's your only move. You need to make yourself look as big as possible. Stand tall, open up your jacket, raise your arms. If you're with other people, group together to create a larger, more intimidating presence. The lion might be trying to figure out if you're a threat or a meal, and your job is to convince it that you are a huge, dangerous thing that it does not want to mess with. You want it to think, this is more trouble than it's worth. While you're making yourself look big, you need to make noise. Shout, clap your hands, be as loud and obnoxious as you possibly can. You're not trying to be polite here. You are trying to intimidate a giant predator. Maintain eye contact. Unlike with some other animals, with a lion, you want to stare it down. It shows that you are not afraid and that you see it as a challenger. Don't break that gaze. It's a battle of wills. Slowly, very slowly, start backing away. Never, ever turn your back on the lion. Keep facing it, keep making noise, and keep looking big as you gradually increase the distance. Don't make any sudden moves. Just a slow, steady retreat. In most cases, the lion is just curious or testing you. By showing you are not easy prey, you'll likely convince it to leave you alone. But remember, it all starts with not running. Now for the largest land animal on Earth, the elephant. These animals are usually gentle giants, but if they feel threatened, they can be incredibly destructive. If you see an elephant, the first thing to assess is its mood. Look at its ears. If its ears are relaxed and flapping gently, it's probably calm. But if its ears are fanned out wide and held stiff, and its trunk is curled, that's a warning sign. It's getting ready to charge. If you see these signs, you need to find cover. Unlike with a lion, you don't want to stand your ground against a charging elephant. An elephant's charge can be a bluff, but you absolutely cannot risk it being real. A real charge is unstoppable. So your first priority is to get something solid between you and the elephant. A large tree, a big rock, a building, anything that can withstand an impact. Don't hide behind a small bush. That's not going to do anything. If there's absolutely nowhere to hide and the elephant is charging, do not run in a straight line. Elephants can run surprisingly fast, up to 25 miles per hour, but they are not very agile. They can't turn quickly, so you need to run in a zigzag pattern. This makes it much harder for the elephant to keep up with you and gives you a better chance to find cover or for the elephant to give up the chase. It's all about making yourself a difficult target. Another critical tip, be as quiet as possible. Elephants have excellent hearing but poor eyesight. If you can get out of its line of sight and stay quiet, it might lose track of you. So if you manage to get behind a big rock or a sturdy tree, stay still and stay silent until the elephant moves on. Don't peek out to see if it's gone. Just wait. Your survival depends on not being seen or heard. Alright, let's talk about rhinos. These things are like living tanks. They weigh thousands of pounds and can run up to 30 miles per hour. They have terrible eyesight, which is actually something you can use to your advantage. Because they can't see well, they'll often charge at anything they perceive as a threat, even if they're not sure what it is. So if a rhino starts running towards you, you know the drill by now. Do not try to outrun it in a straight line. Your best bet for escaping a rhino is to use its poor eyesight and lack of agility against it. The moment it charges, run. But as it gets close, you need to make a sharp turn and dive out of the way. Think like a matador. The rhino has so much forward momentum that it can't just stop or turn on a dime. It will thunder right past where you were standing. This is your chance to get away. Once the rhino has charged past you, don't just stand there. Immediately get up and run for cover. The best possible cover you can find is a sturdy tree that you can climb. Rhinos can't climb trees, So if you can get up a tree, you are safe. Just get high enough that it can't reach you with its horn. Wait up there until the rhino gets bored or distracted and wanders off. It might stick around for a while, so be patient. If there are no trees to climb, look for any kind of cover. Thick bushes, a ditch, a large rock, anything that breaks your silhouette and gets you out of its direct path. The key is to be quick and decisive. The moment you see it charge, you have to react. Don't freeze. That split-second decision to dodge to the side and then run for cover is what will save your life. It's a simple move, but it's incredibly effective against a multi-ton charging beast. You might be surprised to hear this, but the animal that causes the most human fatalities in Africa isn't the lion or the crocodile. It's the hippopotamus. These things are shockingly fast, extremely aggressive, and have massive jaws that can bite a person in half. They are incredibly territorial, especially in the water. So, rule number 1 for hippos. Stay out of their water. Don't go swimming or canoeing in rivers where hippos are known to live. If you're on land and you encounter a hippo, they can still be very dangerous. They often graze on land at night, sometimes far from the water. If you find yourself between a hippo and its path back to the water, you are in extreme danger. It will see you as an obstacle and will charge to get back to its safe space. You need to give it a very wide berth. Don't ever block its escape route to the water. If a hippo does start to charge you on land, you need to run. Unlike with lions or bears, running is your best option here. Hippos are fast, but they can't maintain their top speed for very long. Your goal is to find cover immediately. Run towards a sturdy tree, a large rock, or a building. Don't try to climb a flimsy tree, as a hippo can easily knock it over. You need something substantial to protect you. The key is to use the environment to your advantage. Run around an anthill or a termite mound. Use any obstacle you can find to slow the hippo down or block its path. They are not agile creatures. A quick change of direction, or putting a solid object between you and it, can be enough to make it give up the chase. But the absolute best survival tip for a hippo is prevention. Know where they are and stay far, far away. Okay, this one might be a little more common for some people, especially if you live near farms. So how do you survive a bull attack? Bulls are not just aggressive in a bullfighting ring. They can be very dangerous in a field, too. Like a lot of the animals we've talked about, the first rule is don't provoke it. If you have to cross a field with a bull in it, just be calm, quiet, and give it as much space as possible. Walk, don't run. If a bull does decide to charge you, forget everything you've seen in movies about waving a red cape. Bulls are actually colorblind. They're not charging at the color red, they're charging at the movement of the cape. So if a bull is charging you, you can actually use this to your advantage. Take off your hat, your shirt, or your jacket and throw it away from you. The bull will often divert its charge to attack the moving object, giving you precious seconds to escape. While the bull is distracted by the object you threw, you need to run, and you need to run for the nearest fence or cover. Don't run in a straight line if you can help it, because bulls are fast. But your primary goal is to get to a barrier the bull can't cross. Climb a fence, get behind a gate, get inside a vehicle, whatever works. You just need to put something solid between you and it. Every second counts, so don't hesitate. If you get knocked down and have no other choice, curl into a ball and protect your head and neck with your arms. This is the absolute last resort. A bull can still cause serious injury by trampling or goring you, but protecting your vital organs gives you the best chance of survival. The main takeaway here is distraction. Use an object to misdirect the charge and use that time to run like your life depends on it, because honestly it does. Alright, let's head back to the ocean. You're having a great time swimming, and then, out of nowhere, you feel a sudden, sharp, burning pain. You've been stung by a jellyfish. The first thing you need to do is get out of the water. Where there is one jellyfish, there are often more, and you really don't want to get stung again. So calmly make your way back to shore. Panicking and splashing will only make things worse and could actually cause the tentacles to release more venom. Now for the most important part, and this is where a lot of myths come from. Do not pee on the sting. I know you've seen it in movies and TV shows, but it's a terrible idea. The ammonia and other compounds in urine can actually make the stinging cells, called nematocysts, fire more venom, making the pain much worse. Also, do not rinse the sting with fresh water. This will also cause the nematocysts to fire. It's a huge mistake that so many people make. So what should you do? The best thing to rinse the area with is vinegar. Most jellyfish stings are neutralized by the acetic acid in vinegar. If you're at a beach, lifeguards often have a spray bottle of vinegar for this exact reason. If you don't have vinegar, the next best thing is to rinse it with seawater. Seawater won't make it worse, and it can help wash away some of the tentacles. After rinsing, carefully try to remove any remaining tentacles with a pair of tweezers or the edge of a credit card. Don't use your bare hands. Once the tentacles are gone, you can treat the pain. Soaking the affected area in hot water, as hot as you can stand without burning yourself, for about 20 to 45 minutes can help break down the venom and relieve the pain. After that, you can use a mild hydrocortisone cream or an oral antihistamine to help with itching and swelling. Most stings are just painful, but if you have a severe reaction like difficulty breathing, you need to get to a hospital immediately. Let's talk about some real-life dinosaurs, alligators, and crocodiles. First, you have to know the difference in how to react. If you see an alligator or croc on land, you need to run, and run as fast as you can. These guys are incredibly fast over short distances, but they don't have much stamina. The key is to run in a straight line directly away from the water. Don't run in a zigzag. That's a myth, and it just wastes time and energy. They can't sustain a chase on land for very long. The real nightmare scenario is if one of them grabs you and tries to pull you into the water. If this happens, you have to fight back with everything you've got. Do not play dead. It will not work. You need to inflict as much pain as possible. Go for the most sensitive part of the animal, its eyes. Gouge, poke, and punch the eyes with all your strength. This is often the only thing that will make it release its grip. It's brutal, but it's your only chance. Another weak spot is the palatal valve. This is a flap of skin at the back of their throat that stops water from going into their lungs when they're underwater. If you can get your hand in there, you can break the seal, and water will flood into its throat. This can cause the animal to gag and release you. This is obviously extremely difficult and dangerous, but if you're being dragged underwater, it's a desperate move that could save you. If you manage to escape, get out of the water and as far away as you can. These animals are territorial, and you don't want a second encounter. Because their mouths are filled with so much bacteria, any bite is almost guaranteed to get infected. You need to seek medical attention immediately for the bite and to get powerful antibiotics. Surviving the attack is the first step. Surviving the infection is the second. Okay, this is a super important one. Snake bites. The first thing you need to know is that most snakes you encounter are not venomous. But you should always assume that any snake you don't recognize is venomous. The best way to survive a snake attack is to not get bitten in the first place. If you see a snake, just back away slowly and leave it alone. Don't try to handle it or kill it. Most bites happen when people try to mess with the snake. But let's say the worst happens and you get bitten. The absolute most important thing to do is to stay calm. I know it's hard, but panicking will increase your heart rate, which will cause the venom to spread through your body much faster. Try to remember what the snake looked like, its color, pattern, and the shape of its head. This information can be critical for doctors to identify the right antivenom. If you can, take a picture of it from a safe distance, but don't risk getting bitten again. After you're bitten, you need to immobilize the bitten limb. Keep it at or below the level of your heart. This slows down the flow of venom. Remove any tight clothing or jewelry, like rings or watches, from around the bite area because it will swell up. Do not do the things you see in old movies. Do not cut the wound and try to suck the venom out. That doesn't work and can cause infection. Do not apply a tourniquet. This can cut off blood flow and lead to amputation. And do not apply ice. Your one and only goal is to get to a hospital as quickly and as safely as possible. This is a true medical emergency. Don't try to treat it yourself. Don't wait to see if symptoms develop. Just go. If you're hiking, call for emergency services immediately. The only real treatment for a venomous snake bite is the correct anti-venom, and only a hospital can give you that. Staying calm and getting to the hospital is the entire survival plan. Alright, the big one. Bear attacks. Surviving a bear encounter depends entirely on what kind of bear it is. A black bear and a grizzly bear require completely different survival strategies. So, first, you need to identify it. Black bears have taller, pointier ears and a straight-face profile. Grizzly bears are larger, have a prominent shoulder hump, and a dished-in face profile. Knowing the difference could literally be the difference between life and death. Let's start with a black bear. If you encounter a black bear, you need to get big, make noise, and stand your ground. Shout, wave your arms, and try to scare it away. Do not run. Running can trigger its chase instinct. Do not climb a tree. Black bears are excellent climbers. If it attacks, you have to fight back. Punch, kick, hit it with rocks or sticks. Be as aggressive as you can. Aim for the face and snout. In most cases, a black bear that attacks is predatory, and it sees you as food, so you have to fight for your life. Now, a grizzly bear is a completely different story. If you encounter a grizzly, you do not want to fight. A grizzly is much larger and more powerful, and fighting it will only make it more aggressive. If you surprise a grizzly and it attacks, it's usually being defensive, not predatory. It sees you as a threat to its cubs or its space. In this case, your best chance of survival is to play dead. Lay flat on your stomach, spread your legs so it's harder for the bear to flip you over, and cover the back of your neck with your hands. Stay completely still and quiet. The bear will likely sniff you, nudge you, and maybe even bite or claw you. You have to endure it without moving. It's testing to see if you are still a threat. Once it believes the threat is gone, it will usually leave. Don't get up until you are absolutely certain the bear is gone. Wait for several minutes after you think it has left. If the attack is prolonged and relentless, it might be a rare predatory attack, and in that case, you have to fight back as a last resort. But for most grizzly encounters, playing dead is the key. Okay, this is an animal you're probably not going to encounter unless you're deep in the forests of Africa, but it's still fascinating. Gorillas. These are incredibly powerful and intelligent animals. A silverback gorilla is many times stronger than a human. If you find yourself face to face with one, you need to understand their social rules. An aggressive display from a gorilla, like chest beating or loud grunts, is usually a warning, not an immediate prelude to an attack. Your goal is to show the gorilla that you are not a threat. You need to be submissive. Do not make eye contact. Staring is a sign of aggression in the gorilla world, and it will be taken as a challenge by the silverback. Instead, look down at the ground. Speak in a low, calm voice. No loud noises or sudden movements. You want to be as boring and non-threatening as humanly possible. Crouch down. Make yourself smaller. This is a universal sign of submission. By getting low to the ground, you're showing the gorilla that you respect its authority and that you are not there to challenge it. You can even pretend to be interested in the foliage around you, grooming yourself or pretending to eat leaves. This mimics their natural, calm behavior and can help to de-escalate the situation significantly. You're basically saying, I'm just like you, just chilling, no threat here. If the gorilla does charge you, and this is often a bluff charge meant to scare you, you must stand your ground. Again, do not run. It will trigger a chase. Stay low, stay quiet, and avert your gaze. The gorilla will likely stop just short of you. After it has made its point, you can begin to slowly, very slowly, back away. Don't turn your back until you are a safe distance away. It's all about respect and showing that you know who's boss. Last but not least, something that might seem small, but can be incredibly deadly: bees. A single bee sting is usually just painful, but an attack from a whole swarm of bees can be fatal. If you accidentally disturb a hive and a swarm comes after you, there is only one thing you should do, and that is run. Don't try to swat them, don't jump into water, just run, and run fast. Your first priority is to protect your head and face. Pull your shirt up over your head. This protects your eyes, nose, and mouth. Getting stung in your airways can cause them to swell shut, which is a major cause of death in swarm attacks. You need to protect your ability to breathe at all costs. Your face is the most critical area to cover as you run for your life. Keep running until you find shelter. A car, a a house, a shed, any enclosed space you can get into. Bees will have a hard time following you inside. Once you are inside, make sure all the doors and windows are closed. A few bees might get in with you, but it's much better to deal with a few than the entire swarm. Don't stop running until you are safely inside a sealed shelter. Do not jump into water. This is a common myth, but it's a terrible idea. The bees will not just go away. They will wait for you to come up for air, and they will sting you the second your face breaks the surface. Your only real defense is distance and shelter. Run in a straight line, cover your face, and don't stop until you are inside. Once you are safe, you'll need to deal with the stings by scraping out the stingers and seeking medical help, especially if you were stung many times. And that's it! 13 life-saving tips that could genuinely be the most important thing you learn all year. We went through everything from sharks and bears to bees and jellyfish. My hope is that you never, ever have to use a single one of these tips. Seriously, I hope you just go on amazing hikes and beach trips and never see anything more dangerous than a squirrel. But life is unpredictable, and being prepared is everything. The great news is that now you are prepared. You know what to do. You have the knowledge to protect yourself and your loved ones if you ever find yourself in a scary situation in the wilderness. You're not helpless anymore. You have a plan for each of these encounters, and that knowledge is power. So go out there and enjoy nature, but do it with confidence and respect for the incredible animals that live there. If this video taught you something valuable, make sure you are subscribed to Brightside so you don't miss out on more videos that could literally save your life. We post all the time, and you're not going to want to miss what's coming next. Click on one of these other videos on the screen right now and keep learning. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there. Out.